Yeah?
Yeah.
My number 6 is a game called Blue Eden on iOS. I played it on an iPad and then realised that it's not optimised for iPad. Visuals were fuzzy. It's like, the the magnified version. So I had to download it on iPhone instead. This is a difficult one because I would not recommend this, but at the same time, I think that there are some kids who will really, really enjoy it. The game starts quite badly. The game involves you swimming this sort of pack of powder blue sturgeon fish into what they call a school. So I think Finding Nemo is an influence because you're this pack of fish swimming around, and the first bit you have to try and add fish to your school. So you're swimming around looking behind all these little nooks trying to find some, but you're not directed at all. So I got to a situation where I'd found like 5 out of 6, however many there are, and then I was just floating around undirected for about 10-15 minutes trying to find the others, and then eventually I found them and I just thought, okay, that's a bit daft. In between all of the levels there are these sort of voiceovers with sort of facts about nature and sea life, and it's done in a sort of educational audio book style, sort of slightly stilted kind of sort of Attenborough sort of sound. The next mini game is you have to eat plankton, and you have to use very basic maths because the plankton resembles sides of a dice, so you have to get all ones, all twos, or 3 numbers in sequence. But it's so small that, and the animation's so small that it's actually quite hard, and it's very, very easy to make mistakes. Basically, the game gets worse as it progresses because I think the creators tried to do a little too much. The tutorials are all quite exhausting and quite drawn out and needlessly elongated. There's a mini game we have to avoid being eaten by a predator, and in order to get out of the situation, you just have to swipe the screen. But every time you do it, 3 times on the tutorial, you do it once and then do it again. You have to watch this fish swim slowly in a circle, and then you do it again. And they're like, okay, another time, and then you do it again and again and again. And then they say, okay, well, let's do it for real, which involves doing it 3 more times. Then there's a reproduction mini game that barely works, with you just swiping the screen like a maniac again. I mean, it got to the stage where I became convinced that it was one of the most tedious games I'd played in my life, but this is not for me. I mean, I felt like a bit of a schmuck playing it because it's for very, very young children. There's a heartfelt little note from the creator in the menu saying how we should stop obsessing over new technology and instead preserve nature and whatnot. And there may be, I mean, the thing is...
But he makes an iPhone game.
Well, I mean, it's the sentiment, I suppose. It's, I mean, there may be glossier games. That's the thing. I think that there's probably games like this made by Nickelodeon or Cartoon. I mean, I'm sure people have taken the mad love for Finding Nemo and made a game like this with some sort of educational elements in it. So I'm sure other versions of this game exist, and I'm sure they're much prettier and much slicker and much better made and more expensive than this. But it really does count for something that there is not a single hint of microtransactions in this game. Not one. So again, if you have a kid, 69p and then it's done, you don't have to worry about any of that crap. You don't have to worry about adverts. You don't have to worry about... I mean, and it's sad that it counts for something in this day and age, but it genuinely does. So it's unwieldy, and I think the guys that made it, I think it's their first game. I might be incorrect about that. But it's unfair for me to sort of really give it a kicking because it's for kids who, the problems that I had with it would not matter to a young child who wants to swim fish around and learn a few facts about sea life. So I think it's very scrappy, but it's not terrible.